This gentleman just asked me a minute ago, who's next? You are. Because you know we have to do right by our veterans today with the right proclamations of the service. So please, now we have with us the chairman of the 65th Infantry Honor Task Force, Anthony Mele, who's been a tireless advocate for the men and the families of El 65. I, along with a number of other people here and behind the scenes, have been in meetings and calls and emails. This man epitomizes tireless. Anthony.
Well, do we have enough people here today, or should we call for some more? Fair enough? Listen, thank you. Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you for coming here and helping us with this event. I'd like to thank our host, Urban Health Plan, for inviting us into their facility, disrupting their operations today to help us with the success of this event. So we'd like to our heartfelt thanks to them. Thanks to all. And thanks to all of the unsung, overworked staffers who dedicated long hours to bring around this historic event, and I can attest to that. Together, we are about to designate Southern Boulevard as a cultural landmark in the South Bronx of New York City by co-naming it after a Puerto Rican combat regiment, the 65th Infantry Regiment of Puerto Rico. They're known the areas. It is fitting and proper that this ceremony happen right here, because Southern Boulevard in the South Bronx is to Puerto Ricans what Mulberry Street is to Little Italy. Now, for generations to come after us, we can hope when anyone travels down this boulevard, they will be reminded of the valorous men who served in the 65th Infantry. We hope they will be inspired to walk taller, head up higher, proud in spirit, when they point to that street sign and say, they belong to us. We own the bragging rights. And today, indulge me a few minutes while I exercise those rights with all the powers of persuasion that I can draw upon to convince you to exercise those rights as American patriots who are Puerto Rican. Let us summon the spirit of all they who wore the battles. Let us recall their proud legacy. Everyone knows that our community have produced entertainers, celebrities, scholars, educators, professionals of every trade, and our elected officials. And soldiers, brave soldiers, infantrymen. Let us do here today what is the custom of soldiers and recount their deeds of honor in the tradition of the ancient Athenian statesman Pericles, who memorialized his fallen warriors when he said, thus choosing to die resisting, rather than live submitting, they fled only from dishonor, but met danger face to face. Well, a Puerto Rican Pericles would say today, so did our soldiers, when they were called upon to aid the Marines at Hungnam, when they fought like tigers at Shorwan, where they sacrificed their blood, their life, their limbs, and their irreplaceable youth. Let us recall the manner in which they earned the respect of their peers, their superiors, and even the enemy. In February 1951, when they conducted what became the last battalion-sized bayonet charge in American military history, when an infantry battalion of about 1,000 men faced a Chinese infantry division of 10,000 men. When they heard the order to fix bayonets, the glint of cold steel and their war cry was how they responded to the enemy's demand for their surrender. By resolve, valor, and courage, they charged headlong into the enemy's center, shoulder to shoulder, tips of their bayonets leading the way to meet the wall of resistance that was waiting for them. The fighting was fearsome. Their fury was terrifying. The angry screams of the dying and the wounded rose, I think, to the highest heaven, where even warrior archangels standing at the celestial gates admired their tenacity with such a desire to join into the fight with them. They must have raised their flaming swords in an honor guard salute to welcome their souls into soldiers' heaven, where the regiment is gathered now, waiting to welcome the rest of their brothers in arms and embrace them. It was reported a bugle sounded. A bugle sounded the order of a withdrawal. It was the sound of a Chinese bugle. Legend has it, the Chinese commander, so moved, so impressed, ordered that inexplicable gesture for reasons only fighting men can truly comprehend. Maybe it was tactical, maybe it was strategic. I would like to believe, perhaps, they could not bear to bring themselves to slay them down to the last man, despite their willingness to die fighting hand to hand. Fighting hand to hand. I would like to think it would have been to them like destroying a thing of beauty. And I'm sure Mr. Vasquez would agree that he is a thing of beauty. Or like the empty victory of shooting a wild stallion whose spirit just cannot be broken. Imagine a wall of Chinese soldiers, bloody and fearsome, steaming breath in the cold air, like thousands of dragons suddenly parted before them like the Red Sea. And the few remaining survivors lived to tell the tale of that battle. They picked up their dead and their wounded. They would leave no man behind that day, I assure you. It was they who brought this story to their commanders. Now, I bring it to you. And that sign we're about to unveil will tell it to everyone else who ventures into this Puerto Rican barrio from this day forward. It says that we, the American people, are a free people. We, the people, will never surrender to any form of tyranny, nor will we tolerate the enslavement of the weak by the strong. We will remain a free people so long as we have more of these Puerto Rican soldiers who will fight to the last man to guarantee it. Of this we can be certain. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor. May I present to you the veterans of the 65th Infantry Regiment.
Mele, my teacher. Thank you. And to you, Maria de Carmen Arroyo, for helping me. And the Rican years. Please recognize my name is Rico.
This way, Papi.
One time I said to her, we should have a name for one of the streets here. She says, it will be done. This happened about 5 or 6 years ago. And I had the honor of giving her the first little medal that the Borinqueniers family had always made, because her father was a member of the 65th Regiment. a lot of beautiful songs have been written to Puerto Rico by Rafael Hernandez from my hometown of Guadilla. I am going to have the pleasure of singing to you a song that was written by Alfredo Rao, the director of the choir of the La Universidad de Puerto. It goes like this. As a matter of fact, I have my kids here.
Woo! Woo!
25 grandchildren and 13 great-grandchildren. Sí, la voy a cantar. We were 4 brothers in the army during the Korean War. I was stationed, I went to Korea, to Germany. My brother was stationed in Korea for 25 years. He was in the army. My other brother was in Hawaii, and my other brother was in Tacoma, Washington. And on my way to Korea, they told me, no, there are enough for you with you. You go to Germany. Well, thanks to Mr. Mele, who made me the coordinator of the 65th Regiment. This is what we have today. So in honor of this gentleman, let me sing that Marcha del 65. It goes like this. Arriba muchachos, vamos a saltar a lejana tierra, vamos a pelear por los caminos de la ley y el bien, va el regimiento de mi Borinquen. Todo por la patria lo habremos de dar, por madres y hermanos que quedan acá, por la noviecita, hemos ido Dios, a la isla querida, decimos adiós. Adiós, tierruca dorada de mis anhelos, no olvides de inocente en tus oraciones, que yo en mis noches tristes con mis canciones podré aliviar la angustia de mi dolor. Gane o pierda siempre, luchar con valor. El 65 se cubrió de honor en 1000 combates y en batallas 100, siempre cara al viento, marcha el regimiento de mi Borinquen.
Joel, the city council members, and myself, and the assemblywoman, Carmen Arroyo, we would like to present each of the Borinqueneers. We're going to present them with citations and merits and proclamations. Ladies and gentlemen, not just Puerto Rico's heroes, but America's heroes. Let's give it up to them one more time.